Hello everyone. So in this week's video we are going to learn a new piece of music called Open String Boogie. We are going to do a little bit of work on reading notes, how to read notes from the stave, which I will explain a little bit more about later. But first of all, let's get warmed up, and for our warm-up we are going to play our G and our D strings. So remember, that's the two strings to the left of your violin as you're holding it up. So get it on your shoulder now and hold your bow properly, and we're going to start off on the D string, D for dogs, which is your second string along, and I just want you to copy whatever I play. So here we go. And now we're going to do the same thing on the G string. So lift your elbow up for the G, and here we go, copy me. And now last one, this is going to be quite difficult. We are going to play the G and the D. So you've got to listen really carefully and see if you can tell which string I'm playing, because I'm going to mix it up with a little bit of both. If you get some of these wrong, then don't worry. Here we go. Now we're going to do some work on how to read notes. If you see one of these, it means you've got to play a note on your violin. But the problem is you don't know which note you've got to play. It could be the G, the D, the A, or the E string. That's why we have to use something called the stave, which is this thing here, these 5 lines that go across the screen. Now where the note is on the stave, that tells you what note you've got to play on your violin. This is where the 4 different notes go. So here you can see a G, a D, an A, and an E. Now we're not going to worry too much about the A and the E today, so let's take a closer look at the G and the D, and we'll start with the D string right here. So this is what a D looks like. Notice how the blob or note head is below the bottom line of the stave. Now let's compare that to a G, and the G is even lower still. In fact, it's so low that it doesn't even fit on the stave. It needs 2 extra lines underneath it. So take a good look at these notes and remember where they go. This is a D and this is a G. Now take a look at this. So this is a mixture of Ds and Gs. Ignore that curly thing at the start, that's called a treble clef. We don't need to worry about that for now. I would like you to pause the video and see if you can work out what those 3 notes are. And if you like, you can also have a go at playing them on the violin. So pause the video now. Okay, so those 3 notes were D, then G, then D. Now, did you also notice how there was a rest at the end there after the 3 notes? Now let's try another example. So this time there's 4 notes, and again I'd like you to pause the video and see if you can work out what the notes are, then play them on the violin. So pause the video now. Okay, and those 4 notes were G, G, D, G. The last thing we're going to do in this week's video is start to learn a new piece of music called Open String Boogie. And here are the notes for Open String Boogie. And if you look closely, you will see that we've got 4 Ds at the beginning, and then 2 Gs, and then there is a black rectangle that looks a bit like a block of chocolate sitting on the middle line of the stave there. That rectangle is a rest that lasts for 2 beats. So if we put all of that together, it goes D, 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 G, G, rest, rest. So let's have a go at playing that on the violin now. So get your violin ready and your bow hold, and we're starting off on the D string, D for dogs, which is your second string along, and we're going to play 4 of them. Remember, we're moving our bow down and up both directions, so 4 Ds sounds like this. So let's try that together, and I'm going to count you in with a 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we go, 4 Ds, 5, 6, 7, 8. D, 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 D. Now after we've played the 4 Ds, it is 2 Gs. So to play our Gs, remember you've got to lift your elbow up to reach over. And again, we're going to go forwards and backwards. 2 Gs sounds like this. So same thing as before, I'm going to count you in with a 5, 6, 7, 8, but this time you're going to play 2 Gs. Here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8, G, G. Now here's the tricky bit, because we're going to do our 4 Ds, then our 2 Gs, but we're going to do them without any gap in between. So that should sound like this. D, 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 G, G. So pause the video now and have a practice of 4 Ds, then 2 Gs without the gap. Okay, so what we're going to do now is 4 Ds, then 2 Gs, then the rest, rest, and we're going to do that lots of times in a row. And I want you to join in with me. So I'm going to start now, and when you're ready, just join in. So here we go. D, 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 G, G, rest, rest. 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 Now I would like you to practice that on your own this week, please. And what we'll do next week is add some more notes after that, and then we'll be able to play the whole of Open String Boogie. But for this week, that's all I've got to teach you. Bye bye.